Good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Coyer. I'm the Assistant Athletic Director for Strategic Communications here at Tulane. At this time, I'd like to remind everyone to please silence your cell phones in advance of today's remarks. After Coach Sumrall's comments, he will take a handful of questions from media members only, right here at the podium. And then following that, for any members of the media who have additional inquiries, we're going to go right there into the suite to my right. So let's get started. This time, I'd like to invite to the stage, in his 10th year at the university, Tulane's 15th president, Mr. Michael A. Fitz.
So this is Tulane and this is New Orleans. You have to have a hug and a fist pump. Okay, so welcome everybody. It is wonderful to see everyone here today. 2 weeks ago, we met in this very room and we, in a sense, introduced our outstanding new athletic director, David Harris. So I want to thank David, not only obviously for being here today, for being very busy over the last 2 weeks since he was appointed. It's an incredible moment, and I am so glad that David is here to introduce our new football coach. I also want to thank Patrick Norton, Tulane's Senior Vice President, Chief Operating Officer, and Treasurer. I know that's a mouthful. I want to thank Patrick. He has the longest job titles in the world, and we've also added on interim athletic director for the past few months. So I want to thank David and Patrick for their incredible efforts in recruiting our incredible new coach in just 5 days. This adds to Tulane's winning record. We're at the beginning of a new era at Tulane University and Green Wave Athletics. Our teams have had historic success in recent years, the result of dedication and hard work of our student athletes, coaches, administrators, and staff. This success would not have been possible without the steadfast support of the Green Wave Nation, our alumni, our friends and fans who have cheered for our teams every step of the way. Now, just a note, Tulane University is an historic moment fueled by renewed ambition across the entire institution, from athletics to research to academics. And by every metric, Tulane is ascending. We've seen unprecedented increases in research funding, admissions applications, probably as much as any school in the country. We're doubling down on investing in the future of New Orleans by building a world-class academic medical center and biosciences district in the heart of the city. And here in Uptown, we've recently opened 2 new residence halls, like Lake and River, and a new home for the School of Science and Engineering. But ambition doesn't stop there. Tulane is doubling down on the future of Green Wave Athletics. Through the Investing in Excellence campaign, our athletic facilities are undergoing major expansion and improvement. Our student athletes deserve the best, and that's what brings us here today. There's no harder working squad in all of college football. And when it comes to hiring a new coach, we knew they deserved the best, and I'm pleased they got it. Coach Jon Sumrall is one of the most successful and winningest football coaches in recent history. Jon brings a wealth of experience and a profound understanding of what it takes to instill excellence, to cultivate remarkable athletes and exceptional individuals on and off the field. His track record speaks volumes. As head coach at Troy University, he led the team to 2 conference championships, and he's no stranger to Tulane or New Orleans. From 2012 to 2014, Jon served 3 successful years as co-defense coordinator right here at Tulane. He played a critical role in Tulane's run to the New Orleans Bowl in 2013, at the time our first postseason appearance since 2002, and only the 3rd since 1983. That bowl appearance helped pave the way for our historic success in recent years, and we're thrilled to welcome Coach Sumrall back home to finish what he started. In a few short weeks, the team will travel to Annapolis to compete in the Military Bowl, and I hope to see you all there. I'm so proud of this team and everything they've accomplished. I cannot wait to see what happens next. Welcome back to New Orleans, Coach Sumrall, and roll wave.
Thank you, President Fitz. This time we'll bring up someone who plays an integral role in the goings-on of Tulane athletics, and that has especially been the case over the past 2 months. In his 8th year at the university, Tulane's Senior Vice President, Chief Operating Officer, and Treasurer, Mr. Patrick Norton.
All right, thank you, Jason. What a day this is. As President Fitz said, for the past couple of months, I've had the honor and the privilege of working with our athletics department. It's been quite a ride, especially these last few weeks. Working with the Green Wave's outstanding coaches, administrators, staff, and student athletes has renewed my appreciation for the hard work they put in and day out. And by the way, it is more than a job, it's a lifestyle. Thank you all for all the work you do. I want to thank our new athletic director, David Harris, for his partnership and leadership over these past few weeks. Hiring a new coach is never easy, but we did it. And David has been engaged from minute one on the job, and he has not stopped for a breath. I also want to thank Courtney Gaucher, Deputy Athletic Director, for all his incredible work on this search. Things work because of Courtney, and I could not be more grateful for his continued work on behalf of Tulane Athletics. Tulane University is very invested in the future of Tulane Athletics, and we look forward to working together to continue to dramatically improve our athletic facilities to support our student athletes and successes on and off the field. Over the course of the fall, I've spent a bit of time with this football team. I've been on the sidelines at the games, been in the locker room for the wins and last week's loss, traveled on the team plane, and let me tell you, this team is special. And we're not done yet. With one more game to go this season, the Military Bowl on December 27 in Annapolis, Maryland. Get your tickets now, they're going to go fast. Our players are not just elite athletes, but extraordinary people, future leaders, role models, and champions in their own right. To compete and study at one of our country's great universities as a student athlete at Tulane is not easy. It requires discipline as individuals and unity as a team, and it requires a special kind of leadership to sustain that environment. And we have found that leadership. Tulane football is poised for greatness, and with Coach Jon Sumrall leading the charge and David Harris at the helm of the Tulane Athletics, the future is bright indeed. Now, I would like to introduce Tulane's AD and Ben Weiner, Director of Athletics Chair, David Harris.
All right. So if you were at my press conference just a couple of weeks ago, it's not going to surprise you to hear me say, I don't think it's fair that Coach Sumrall is only going to get questions from media members. I mean, that's not how it was at my press conference. We're going to have to talk about that with somebody. Oh, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. It's a great day for the Green Wave family. We have an opportunity to welcome Coach Sumrall and his family back to the Tulane family. When I stood here just a couple of short weeks ago, I had a list of people to thank. And I remember saying that when you have a certain level of achievement, there are a ton of people that are behind that, that are helping to make that possible. And with something like hiring a head coach, that certainly fits into that pattern as well. So I want to start by thanking President Fitz for his leadership of the university, for his support of the athletics department. Everything that we do and are able to do is because of what you provide for us. So thank you so much for being who you are and for the leadership that you provide to this great institution. I want to thank Patrick Norton, certainly a partner through this search from day one. From the very beginning, all the way until the end, we worked hand in hand to make sure that we got the very best coach that we could get for Tulane University. Courtney Gaucher, Patrick is right. Everything that we needed, everything that needed to be done, all the information, all the behind-the-scenes work, all the things that we needed to have done when we needed to have them done, Courtney did that, as well as the great knowledge that he had from a football standpoint, and with coaches, we were able to talk and collaborate and have a great partnership in that regard. To Drew and Todd Turner with CSA, they were the search firm that we used in the search. They were great from day one in helping us put this together. And then to all the staff members, both inside and outside of athletics, that helped us to pull this day together. There are people who did tremendous things that I'm probably not even aware of that helped us to be able to get to this spot. So thank you for everyone who had anything to do with helping us get to this point. So when this position came open just a short week ago, we knew that we needed to move quickly, but most importantly for us, we wanted to make the right choice. We needed to get this right. Get it right for our student athletes, get it right for our university, get it right for all of you who support the football program. We reached out to CSA, Drew Turner specifically, to begin to discuss some of the logistics of the search. And I can remember during that conversation, he asked, tell me what you're looking for in your next head coach. Tell me the qualifications or just what you would ideally like to see. And so I can remember sharing with him that we wanted to have a head coach. We were certainly going to be open to those who had been coordinators, but ultimately we would like to have a head coach. We would like to have someone who was a proven winner, someone who had had success. It was also very important to us that we had someone who had demonstrated care and concern and, quite honestly, love for student athletes. That was tremendously important to us. Next, we talked about the importance that recruiting played, and we knew we needed someone who could recruit the city, the state, and specifically the Southeast. And then someone who had some degree of familiarity with New Orleans and with Tulane and the uniqueness of who we are and the culture here. And so as we had that conversation, we began to just look at our short list and be able to try to formulate where we wanted to go. And through those conversations, it just became clear that Jon Sumrall came to the very top of that list very quickly. Why? Well, Jon has been the head coach at Troy University for the past 2 years and has showed tremendous leadership in what he's been able to accomplish. What has he been able to accomplish? Well, if you look at him taking over a team that in the 3 previous years had won 5 games each year, then going over the next 2 years, 23-4 during those 2 seasons, which is tied for 3rd most in the country when it comes to wins. He is a former Conference Coach of the Year. He is a 2-time conference champion. I believe Tulane and the University of Michigan are the only football programs that have won conference championships the last 2 years. 2-time finalist for the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year on a national level. 2-time bowl qualifier. Currently on an 11-game winning streak. Last year finished with a 10-game winning streak. In other words, very successful, has done great things where he has been. Great passion for student athletes. That's one of the things that came across when we had a chance to be able to sit down and talk. Just his love and his passion and his care, the investment that he's made in those young men, the character of the young men that he's brought in, and his personal character in investing the time to make sure that they would have success once they left the university. He has played and worked at the University of Kentucky, worked at Troy University, as well as Ole Miss, and he's originally from Huntsville, Alabama. So we knew that he had the connections within the Southeast to be able to help from a recruiting standpoint. And then he previously served as a defensive coordinator here at Tulane, so we knew he was very familiar with Tulane and with the city of New Orleans, which was very important to us. In other words, he checked every box for us with this search. But additionally, just the great character, the great vision, the passion, and the work ethic came across so clearly when we had a chance to be able to sit down and have a conversation. Being in that room with him, I think we were scheduled to be there for about 90 minutes. We ended up spending about 2.5 hours together just because it was just great being able to listen to someone who had that much passion about what he has a chance to be able to do and that much passion about coming here to Tulane. That came across from the very beginning. He loved the time that he and his family spent here previously, and he was looking forward to the opportunity to be able to come back. So the bottom line, we got our guy. And so it's now my privilege to help welcome our guy back to Uptown. Please help me welcome Coach Jon Sumrall.
This is for you. Hold that up.
All right. I'll hold this for you.
David's a little bit taller than me. You have to lower this. Thank you for that warm welcome. I'm honored to be the head coach at Tulane University. Yeah. Sorry, I've got coach's voice. We just finished the season, so I got to sip water every now and then. I'd like to thank the Tulane administration for this process and how they went about it. And it was enjoyable to hear their vision for this football program. President Fitz, Patrick Norton, David Harris, Courtney Gaucher, the opportunity to visit with them and to hear what they wanted this place to be really stirred up an emotion and passion in me that made me more aware that this was the right opportunity at the right time. I'd also like to thank the Board of Trustees for allowing me this opportunity. Before I move into the football side of things, it's pretty important for me to acknowledge my family. I would not be here without them. It starts with my wife, Jenny. She's the head coach's head coach. She keeps me organized at home. Coaching is a calling. It's not a profession. It's not a job. It is a calling. It's a way of life. And my wife allows me to do a passion that is almost, it's a career, but it's a hobby to me. And I don't ever feel like I go to work a day. My wife, we got 4 young kids. She goes to work every day. I get to go invest in young men and pursue championships daily, and nothing I do would be possible without her support. And yeah, thank y'all. Thank you, Jenny. Our children, Sam and Sadie, who are right here next to Jenny in the front row, they are 10. They were born here in the city of New Orleans. They were born at Oshner, and I'll never forget coaching here at Tulane and them being in my office as infants and coming to visit for lunch on a Sunday after church just so I could see them for a few minutes. So very proud of them, and they're welcome back home to them too. So Sam and Sadie, and then Stella, our 7-year-old. She might be the toughest one in the bunch. She's got a little rattlesnake in her. And then Selah, our youngest 5-year-old, she's probably got the biggest personality. And I don't know if you guys interpret other languages around here or not, but in the Hebrew language, Selah means to pause and reflect. I've decided to stop with her. My mom and dad, George and Sandra Sumrall, their unwavering support in every step of my development as a child. My dad's tearing up. He's going to make me tear up, but they have sacrificed so much for me in every step of my life. Thank you. My in-laws, Steve and Lynn Nixon, just great supporters. They've been along for this coaching journey and this ride. I think when I asked Steve if I could have Jenny's hand in marriage, I think he thought, where are you going to take my daughter? You know, and so thank you all for being here today. The last family member I have that I want to acknowledge, my brother Joe. He's my biggest fan. He has, in this coaching career or my playing career, when things have gone good, he's always told me how great I was. And when things have gone bad, he still told me how great I was. Unlike my father and my son Sam, who they have no problem telling me when we don't play very well. But Joe, thank you for always being there for me. And before I look ahead, I need to take one moment to look back, and I'd like to thank Troy University. They afforded me the opportunity to be a first-time head coach. They took a shot on me when maybe some people wouldn't. And I was an unproven head coach at the time because I had never been one. And they gave me the opportunity to take on that role, and I will never forget it. The leadership there, Dr. Jack Hawkins, athletic director Brent Jones, and the board of trustees there, they treated my family like family, and I am forever grateful for the way they treated us and owe them dearly for the opportunities they have provided me. Yeah, you can applaud them, yeah. I'd like to thank my staff at Troy. Won't address who of them will be with us yet. I don't know all those details at this time, but I'd like to thank them for their hard work. And then most importantly, I'd like to thank the student athletes. Those young men, they are forever family. We do life with the young men that we coach. The way I coach is, it is a transformational relationship, not a transactional relationship. It's not about what can we just get out of a player. It's what can we do for a player and how can we serve them and love them. And the young men at Troy University, they know I'm always only a phone call away if they need anything in their life, ever. And I'd like to thank the fans and the community of Troy at large for what they did for us. So thank you to Troy. Why Tulane? We can look ahead now. Why Tulane? The opportunity to coach at a world-class academic institution that pursues excellence in all things, including football, that resides in the city of New Orleans in Uptown, that's got a vibrant culture, and it's full of life. You know, if you're juiceless, you're useless, and this city's got a lot of juice. The commitment to football has been made very clear, and I believe in what lies ahead is big. This program, as the head coach here, as I addressed in my previous stop, it will always be about the players. It will be players first. Last time I checked, if there were no student athletes and there were no players, there would be no football coaches. They wouldn't need me. This job's not about me. It's about others, and I will serve the young men in our program in every way possible, academically, on the field, socially, character, spiritually, leadership. It's about whole person development. We will do life with the young men that we coach. One of the greatest honors as a coach, young men that are here today that I had the privilege of being a part of when they played here. And then the text messages that I've received, they go back the span of almost 20 years now, which I'm that old. I've been coaching for almost 20 years. It's amazing. But the messages from all the young men who I've been able to associate with through this great game that have had just as big of an impact on my life as I've had on theirs. But it'll always be about the players. It always has been. It always will be. We will assemble a staff that is committed to serving and developing. We want people who give and don't take. It's not about how much can you take, it's about how much can you give. Recruiting here will start at home. It already has. New Orleans has great football in the high schools and the local surrounding area, and I can promise you we will darken the door of every one of them before I leave this area. We want the best to stay here at home. The beautiful thing is we have a national brand now too. And so we have the opportunity to go out and attract the best of the best in all areas. And while I want the best from New Orleans to stay at home, we have the opportunity to attract the best nationally as well. And we will do a great job in turning over every rock to find who fits the culture of Tulane and wants to achieve championship level football. The mission of our program, it really does not change. Some of these things are similar and they come with me. We will develop men of character who will earn their degree, they will win championships, and they'll make a positive community impact at large. Our vision is to win conference championships. Winners win, and I'm a winner, and we're going to win. I told the young men in the team meeting yesterday that some of my exit meetings with our players at Troy, and I stayed for a couple of days when maybe they would have liked for me to get here, but I needed to hug some necks and shake some hands and shed a few tears with the guys. And then one or two of them, they might have wanted to punch me at first, but we ended up making up. What I tell all my guys is, look, you don't want to fight me because I don't fight fair. I'm going to win. But our vision here is we're going to win conference championships. We're going to win bowl games. I'm telling you right now, I'm speaking into existence. We're going to make the college football playoff, and we're going to win it. And we're going to sell out this stadium every time we play in it. We need your help. The young men that work so tremendously hard to put a good product on the field, they need your support in every way. They feed off your energy when you're at the game. If the stadium's full, I can promise you they're going to play with just a little extra juice. And we've got a great home venue. Yulman Stadium is a fantastic venue to play home football games on this campus, and we need it rocking every time we play here. And when people come to play here, they know they're going home with a loss. All right? And, yeah, that's y'all. The culture of our program, it's my job to cast what that looks like. It's the players' job to bring it to life. The locker room makes that a reality. But the culture of our program is going to be built on 4 core values that will travel with me. And they are attitude, toughness, discipline, and love. And I'll briefly tell you, from my perspective, each one, the only disability in life is a bad attitude. Everybody in our program is going to have a great attitude every day. We're way too fortunate to get to do what we do. The old Charles Swindoll poem, life is 10% what happens and 90% how I respond to it. We're going to control that 90% really well and have a great attitude with how we attack things daily. We will be mentally and physically tough, and there will be no team tougher that we ever play. That will not happen. That is not an option. We will be disciplined. All right, we will delay short-term gratification for long-term growth. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret, we will have discipline in our program. And the most important one that will be in our program every day is love. Love is an action, not a feeling. It is a sacrifice. You have to do something for others to love them. And to love someone, you have to know their story. And I cannot wait to get to know our players and what makes them tick so we can make them their best. But I love each and every young man I've ever coached. Even the ones that are knuckleheads sometimes, we still love them. And I cannot wait to love on these guys here and help build that culture around those 4 core values. We will play the game with edge and with attention to detail. Tulane will not beat Tulane. Our offenses will be explosive and physical. Last year, When I took the job at Troy, we're in the hundreds and everything in the country on offense, and now we're in the 30s or the 40s in 2 years. It took a little time, but we were explosive and we're physical, and we run the ball when we want to run the ball, and when you start to play the run, we're going to come over the top and throw it by you. The defense will be attacking and aggressive. You'll see 11 hats to the ball a whole lot because that's the standard. And the way we play in the kicking game will be very sound. We will be very thorough with how we play in the kicking game, and our guys will be well coached in that area. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for being here today. Our family cannot wait to connect and engage with the campus, community, uptown, the city of New Orleans, and the state of Louisiana. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll open it up to media questions for those in attendance. Joe and Connor are equipped with microphones, and just a reminder, Coach here remembers some of you in the media, but not all, so please remember to state your name and affiliation before asking your question. So, who's first?
My name is on? Okay. Sorry. My name is Fletcher Mackel. I work at WDSU TV here in New Orleans. Welcome back. A prominent person here told me that when they were going after you, they burned the boats, that you were it and there was no one else. There was no fallback. So I think they got their guy. Everything you just said was obviously impressive. Was there a moment that made this the right place for you, a person, something that when it went from curiosity and intrigue to an actual decision when you said, this is it, and you told your family or you decided with your family it's time to go back to New Orleans?
Yeah, when the call came that there was going to be an opportunity to have this conversation, it always starts with, is there interest, yes or no? And those answers are usually kind of more like maybe or no when you're a head coach, because you're not really in pursuit of anything else. You're always where your feet are. But when Tulane called, the answer was yes, I could be interested in that. And as I found out more about the vision and the plan for the future here and the commitment to sustained excellence, Fletcher, that became more clear to me that this could be a good fit and an alignment with my family and what we're about. And so anytime you move a wife and 4 kids, there's got to be a lot of boxes that get checked, just like they wanted to check boxes on who the next head coach was. And I'm honored that we were able to get that done and grateful for it, because this is a fantastic place with fantastic people, and it's about people. And yeah, as the process kind of worked through itself, I would say Thursday night, Friday morning, we would like to do this if this is at all possible.
Right next to you, Garland Gillen, Fox State Sports here in New Orleans. From when you left this program as a position coach to now you're here, and the last few years have been some of the best in Tulane history. How appealing was it that there is now a culture of winning and winning big-time games? How appealing was that to you to not have to come to a program sometimes that you have to rebuild? This thing is looking strong right now.
Yeah, they've had great momentum from the last 2 years, and that matters. It's hard to get momentum started. I like to share the adage of, it's hard to get to the top, it's harder to stay there. And it takes a lot of things to stay there. And complacency is a killer. As soon as you feel like you've done something, if you relax, you're going to get everybody's best shot. And we will get everybody's best shot. We experienced that where I'm coming from, too. We get everybody's best shot this year because they knew we had kind of arrived. And no different. We will get everybody's best shot. The good news is they're going to get ours, too.
Hey, Coach, Jared Paul Joseph, WGNO. I know you said you're done reflecting, but given the roots you have here and having the family ties as well, how much have you thought about it, or how much has it meant to you mentally and emotionally to have this full circle moment?
Yeah, we've got dear friends that were our friends here 10 years ago here today. We've got former players here today. Kenny Welcome's up here. I almost didn't recognize him. He's lost so much weight. But that's a good thing for his health, probably. But so It's tremendous. There's a lot of introductions, but there's probably just as many it's good to see you again. And so for us, familiarity is nice. We're very comfortable here in the city. We loved it. Going reverse to Kenny, last time when I moved here, I think I put on 50 pounds though. So I'm gonna have to watch what I eat these next few weeks and make sure I run every morning.
I have another one, Fletcher again, sorry.
Yeah.
To double dip. People, I think, want to know, what is your timeline? Because obviously recruiting has started.
Yeah.
We've all seen the social media posts about what's happening and who's going where. Can you maybe kind of just give us a quick timeline of when you plan on getting boots on the ground and keeping players, getting into the portal, things like that?
Hang on, what's the portal? What is that? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. And social media posts, I don't know what you're talking about. Look, here's how this transition will happen for me. I'm here. My staff that's been at Troy, they will not leave until the bowl game is completed. No one there will accept a job here until the bowl game is over. It's their job to finish the mission with those young men there. And I'm not going to extend an offer to a new coach there. While that may hurt me in the short term here, I'll win out in the long term by doing it the right way. And so for us, to be fully transparent, while I'm walking into this, and it's my job to quickly connect and engage with our current players and the staff that's still here, it's my staff's job to finish the job where they are. And we love those young men so deeply that I would not be who I said I am or say I am as a man if I went to go steal that staff immediately away from those kids today. And so it's hard. It takes a lot of work because I'm not sleeping a whole lot. But I'm here. I met with the staff that is still behind here right now. There is a lot that's in flux. Trying to get your hands on who's where and who's there and what's coming and what's going is a little bit challenging right now. I know this. I would like to, I'm reaching out to all the young men that have maybe entered the portal or whatever. I'd like to sit down and have a conversation with all of them. Doesn't mean they're all going to stay. But I think when they find out what we're going to be about here as a program, if they want to be loved and pushed and developed to be their best, we'll have a shot to keep some of them. And so the guys that want to be here, they're going to win championships. We're going to do that. And we'll put a staff together. When I met with the leadership team here, I told them when I hire people, I measure twice and cut once. Where I was before, I made my first new hire 2 weeks after I took the job. I think my chancellor that hired me thought, do you know how to do this job? But I'd rather get it done right than get it done fast. And it may take a little time. And it matters to get it done as quickly as possible, but it also matters to take care of the kids that I've been coaching where I was coaching before coming here. Good.
Good. Thank you again, Coach. Again, 3 reminders before we adjourn here. For immediate attendance, please go ahead and make your way to the suite to our right for additional availability with Coach Sumrall. For those here in front, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a short photo opportunity here, right here on stage. And for our Olive and Blue Society members and other specially invited guests, please join us at the reception behind the curtain now for some light refreshments. Thank you to everyone for attending today, and roll wave.